Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. And it's a new gun day today, but I bought two new pistols. I couldn't decide on which one I wanted, so I bought both. And that might sound egregious to you, but I actually had, I think it was 4 or 5 TM pistols in my cart. And I was ordering from all these different places because one retailer would have the gun in for, or gun number one in. Another retailer gun number 2 in stock, but then retailer 1 would only have mags for gun number 2 and retailer 2 would only have mags for gun number 1, so they were all over the place. So really today it's a battle of the HKs because I bought the HK45 and I bought the USP, and again I had to buy the HK45 and the USP mags from one retailer, and then I had to buy the USP and the HK45 mags from another retailer. But it is what it is. I managed to get things that I wanted, so we're going to take a look today. If you're not interested in these pistols, feel free to skip the video, but I've never owned... I had a HK45 years ago. I had one with a salient slide, which I spent way too much money on, and then ended up not using it because it was way too much money, and I just ended up selling it as brand new, fully built, ready to go. Where this, I'm just going to keep it as standard. So we've got the USP because I had the USP compact and it was very good, so I decided to get the full size. Now originally I wanted to get the full size, but no retailer had it in stock, so I think I was flicking through fire support and they had the USP 9s or the SP 9s, what they call them, back in stock. So I'm going to order one of them. And then the HK45 actually came from High Pressure Airsoft. And I've also bought a third. I was also going to buy a PX4, an XDM40 and a 5.7. Some of the pistols I had before, some of them I hadn't. I'm just, over the years, I bought TM pistols and fell in love with them, and then through one reason or another, had to sell them, or we tend to as airsofters, we tend to recycle our gear and move on to new stuff. So, first of all, the HK45, because I know you guys are saying just shut the hell up and get it out of the box. I went with the tactical. Now, the only reason I went with the tactical, because I really was not bothered about the suppressor, was I wanted the tan lower. And if they did this pistol with the tan lower in a normal box, that's what I would have bought. It's also nice to get the threaded barrel as well, but unfortunately, I'm pretty sure these come to like 16mm clockwise. So why they do that, I don't know. So Marui TM45 is a lot of people call it, but very, very comfortable pistol, quite a large pistol. Also in the box, you get extra back straps. Now I can't remember what size this is. This says small, so maybe we will give it a go. Maybe not just yet. So you get an extra back strap. With the tactical, you get the Marui, the little Marui suppressor, which is very nice. It'd be very cool if like a company did a really thin tracer, and we could fit a tracer in here, but it is a very, very thin suppressor. The suppressor itself, I can't remember if this comes apart or not because it's been a while. Let's get rid of this plastic. I'm pretty sure it unscrews. There we go. They do come filled with very dense foam, if I can get this out. And then open celled foam. And then I think the reverse on the other side. So it's a nice little thing from them. Now, for maybe something that was like a non-blowback or something like that, this would be very cool for like a Mark 23, and it is the same. I'm pretty sure it's the same threads as a Mark 23. I'm sure they're 16mm. So you get the suppressor. You also get a thread protector, which I did take out, but then I couldn't get it back in the box, so I just kind of jammed it in there. So I actually have another large frame pistol, which is my, I think this is a VFC. FNX45, and I lost my thread protector on a milsim. I think what was happening as I was walking, my leg was rubbing up against the thread protector, and I lost it in the middle of a field. I think it was Cowent in Wales. Cowent, I think it's Cowent. I can't remember how to pronounce it, but lost it, and it's just remained lost ever since. But nice that they include a thread protector in the box. Also, you get some accessories in here, I believe. So as usual with Marui, you get, I believe this is a little tool for punching out the pin. You get a barrel plug, you get the little plastic pieces which can lock the mags so you can dry fire it. Now I'll close this up, I will take this little tool out because I want to see what that other back strap's like. I'm pretty sure it's for this. So you basically take the tool and you can push the pin out. With that pin pushed out, does it push down or does it just pull off? It just pulls off, I think. There we go. And you can see obviously the hammer spring there. And then we can take off this extra back strap that comes with it. So the one that's on it is a medium. The one that comes extra is a small. Because I always like, if they come with extra back straps, I always like to switch them over and see what I like. That's quite nice. I have quite big hands, so ooh, I don't know. This is the problem when they give you back straps, because you go between the two and you're like, oh, that feels good. And then you take it off and you put another one on. I always get this with the newer gen locks and oh, that's good. I think the medium is going to be better, to be honest. So that is nice that they give you extras. I'm not sure if the original 45 comes with back straps. If you guys have got that pistol, you have to let me know. I can't remember if it does or not. So we're just going to use a little tool, place that pin back in. I'm going to put that back in the bag. It will probably never ever get used again. And we also get a mag. Now this is going to be a long form video, so apologies, but the 45, the HK45 that is such a comfortable pistol for a large frame pistol. Now my F&X is a large frame pistol, as you can see it's quite big, but it doesn't have nowhere near as much comfort. In fact, it's quite uncomfortable. It's got a very grippy texture, but it's uncomfortable. The 45, the HK45, however, is probably one of the most comfortable pistols I've ever held. The only one that tops it, in my opinion, is the HK VP9. But unfortunately, there's only one company that's ever done the VP9, and that was VFC. And it was literally the worst performing pistol I ever purchased. I purchased about 3 or 4 of them because I was convinced I'd got a lemon. And then each one I bought after that was exactly the same. They're just very, very, very bad performing pistols. Now, I'm not sure if they've released new versions of it, but every one that I've tried is bad. And it's such a shame because I fell in love with that pistol. It's the most comfortable pistol I've ever held. And this isn't far off. So that's the HK45. And then the second one is the USP 9. Now, this isn't a bad pistol at all for comfort, but not as comfortable as the HK45, but it is slightly smaller because, you know, it's a 9mm. In the real world, this is a 45, so it's going to be a larger frame pistol. But what I will say is I always open these boxes up when I get them just to make sure everything's there, nothing's broken, because let's say a retailer sends you a gun, you want to get back to them pretty quickly if like the courier's like trod on it or something like that. So we'll get the usual accessories in this box, I believe. Let's see what's in here. So you do get a rail adapter. I will probably try and get a light that goes directly onto the USP rail, if that's a thing. You guys will have to let me know. They're always very flamboyant with their packaging, in terms of being clever. Maybe not flamboyant, but clever. So we have the usual stuff in here. So the little mag pieces, so you can dry fire it. You get the barrel plug, of course, if you want extra safety. All you literally do is you just put it in the end here. And what that does, in case of you accidentally pulling the trigger with it loaded, it blocks the barrel, just as an extra safety thing. This is something that TM's always done. Get some BBs. The Marui BBs are very high quality, so you can use these. Let's try and push this back in here, and then you get an Allen key. The Allen key is, of course, for fitting the rail adapter. So Marui, always very technical with their packaging. They always do a good job. this back in here. We'll pop that rail piece back in there as well. Your manuals and everything are normally behind the polystyrene, depending on what era pistol you have. You've got an unjamming and cleaning rod in the bottom there as well. So the USP 9, very nice indeed. The HK45. Now, why did I go for these pistols? I've never had the USP full size. I love the USP. I can't remember if you used the USP full size or the compact in the TV show 24. Very good TV show. But I fell in love with the compact. The compact is phenomenal for its size. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to have to get its big brother. And a lot of people that were asking, say a lot of people, a few people in the Discord asked when I picked up the compact, are the magazines compatible with each other? Like, let's say you get a Glock 17 and a Glock 19, you can put a 17 mag in a 19, but not a 19 in a 17 because it's shorter. But the mag infrastructure is the same. Now, with the USPs, it's not. The magazines are different. So if you have a USP compact and you're thinking about getting full-size USP mags that might be a little longer, no, they won't. They literally won't work. They won't even go into the grip. So, as well as the pistols, as always, if I can, this is usually what sways my purchase methods. And there were a lot of pistols that I was looking at that I haven't been buying over the past few months because I can't get spare mags and I just don't see the point. I made that mistake with the Crytek Maxim 9. I'm one of those people that like to get the correct mags for the gun. And yes, the Maxim 9, you can use different branded Glock mags, but I wanted the proper Maxim mags, which are expensive. And so now when I buy a pistol, I make sure I can get spare magazines for it. I have bought another airsoft pistol, which is a little bit more wacky compared to these, which I'll be telling you about when it turns up. So we'll just quickly pull these magazines out the packaging. Great packaging as always from Marui. And we're going to get to testing these things. So we need some gas, we need some ammo. So let me go sort that out. We'll give these a blast. And then of course, at such a date, we'll obviously be putting these through the gauntlet to see which one seems to perform the best. So bear with me, I'll be right back. Right, I thought I'd save you the boringness of me filling these up with gas and ammo, but propane, 0.25 gram BBs. We're going to start with the USP first. So USP 9. We'll see what this thing chronos at. In the interest of time, I'm just going to do it the old way because otherwise I've got to set the tripod up and camera. So 0.89 joules, 0.866, 0.911. I'll click the chrono there. 0.902, 0.902, 0.88, 0.863, 0.877, and 0.872. So about 275 to 280 feet per second on a 0.25 gram BB. The pistol itself shoots very well. I'm going to reset the chrono. I'm going to save the other two mags because we're going to flip the camera around in a moment. Set again to 0.25 gram BBs. We're going to go to the HK45. And here we go. 0.874, so pretty much bang on the same. 0.862. 0.878. 0.864. 0.859. 0.874. 0.87. 0.87, 0.855, and 0.859. So literally about the same. Now what I'll tell you is that the USP 9 is, I'm pretty sure they board up the blowback housings after a certain date with Marui. That one is much snappier and harder kicking than the 45, which is saying something because the 45 is very good. There we go. Now with these pistols, let's see how many rounds you got in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 rounds on a USP 9. Now the HK45, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25. So around about the same as well. So what we're going to do, we're going to flip around the camera and we're going to carry on with this video. Rightio, back in front of the camera. Hope you like the new sign. You know, Jaeger Precision LED sign from that guy that does all the funny videos on just on TikTok or YouTube, I can't remember. Tony at LC Sign, that's where I got that. Right. USP 9 from Marui. We'll show you what it shoots like. Very good. Let's go straight to the 45. I don't know if you can tell that straight away how the USP 9 is much faster, but I'm pretty sure this was a newer pistol, and I'm pretty sure they had like a new blowback size, new nozzle size. I think didn't they go up to like 15 mil or something like that, or I don't know. I might have got that wrong, but I'm pretty sure they bored up the blowback housings or the blowback units in them. So the 45 is no slouch, but it's definitely not as snappy as the 9. Does absolutely fine. Back to the USP 9. It definitely kicks harder. It definitely kicks harder, and it's definitely like a higher cycle rate on the slide. Shoots really, really well. Yeah, definitely a slower cycle. And I'm also going to say, now here's the trigger on the 45, so you've got a bit of take up and a mushy trigger. Very mushy. Now it might be the same on this, but it does feel different when firing it. So the USP 9, bit of space, very definite wall, much crisper break. The reset's right on the wall as well. So you can feel it when firing that the trigger is definitely better on the USP 9 as well. Right, we've shot a couple of mags. Let's see if we can quickly refill these up and go another round of firing with these things. I suppose you could call this video the Battle of the HKs, because I wasn't really sure. Well, to be honest, it's not bad picking up both, is it really? But I wasn't really sure which one to go for, so I thought, you know what would be cool, just getting them both and comparing them on a video. So here we are. We could find out that the results are very different when we obviously get to firing it, shooting at targets. That the 45 might do better in terms of accuracy, but I'm going to hedge my bets and say that just the fact that I'm pretty sure it was a newer release, it's probably going to do a little bit better. So I haven't gassed these mags up again, so they might run out of gas. We'll go with the 45 first. Plenty of rounds in there. The 45 does have ambidextrous control, so if you are a lefty shooter, you're going to find it a little bit more friendly. They both have functioning safety and decockers, so you can decock the hammer like that, which means your first pull is going to be a lot longer, with like a double action trigger, and then we're on to single action. We put 2 magazines through each mag, no regas, and it's still just as punchy. In fact, you know what we should do? Before we shoot this last mag, I'm just going to take the magazine out just so it's safe. We should grab the suppressor. I'm not sure if companies out there do tracer units in 16mm. They probably do. I can't remember seeing one. But if you wanted that tactical look, as far as I'm aware, I'm pretty sure there's more parts available for the 45 compared to the USP, but we are loaded. But if you want that suppressor on there for that sort of Hitman style look, do you know what? I'm going to sound crazy here, boys and girls, but it definitely sounds different. So that's strange, that is. Bat, you know, nice solid pistol action. It definitely adds a thud. I'm not imagining this right now. It definitely changes the report of the pistol. So it is. You could kind of argue it's slightly functional, but don't expect, you know, movie suppressor quietness out of it. I would just have it more of as an aesthetic thing, but it does change, not necessarily the volume, but it changes the sound. Let's get this back in frame here for you. Do you know what? I prefer the sound of it with the suppressor on. I do prefer the sound of it with that on there. So very cool. We're going to go to the USP now. I think you'll definitely tell a difference again. It's a faster cycle rate. It's a much more aggressive blowback action to it. And the trigger is very much so better. Which you can tell because I can get on that trigger reset a lot faster. It's enabling me to shoot quicker. It is a slightly smaller pistol. The grip is blockier, so it's more square. But that's not to say that this is uncomfortable, because it's not. The 45 just has a much better grip, because you've got all these sort of like contours and sort of cutouts in the plastic where it sort of kind of perfectly matches up with your hand. Like I said, the USP 9 is not lefty friendly. All the controls are found on the left-hand side. So right-handed shooters, not a problem. If you're a left-handed shooter, you're just going to have to adapt or power stroke the slide. But that is very good. To be honest, they're both good. I suppose you could also refer to this sort of like an introduction video. I'm not sure if you guys want to see more on these pistols. I know you guys want to see a collection video, which I'm trying to wrap my head around right now on how to do it. But I didn't really want to break it down into doing pistols, SMGs, rifles and such. That light, apologies if that light is messing up. I don't know what I did with the remote now. Is messing up the lighting in this video. There it is. Let's turn that off. So I'm not sure if that's messing up the lighting, but you have to let me know. And oh, sorry, collection video, that was it. Whether you want me to break it down into doing like pistols, SMGs, rifles, but then I don't really have many snipers and LMGs, so I would potentially like to do it all in one video and just be much quicker on the different pieces, because you've all seen these things, most of these things in details on the bench here. So there you have it, the USP 9 and the HK45 from Marui. Very good pistols. They're all plastic, so if you like your metal stuff, they're not licensed replicas at all. The only people that hold those licenses are like Umrex and VFC. So you're not getting metal slides. It's an all plastic product, but you tend to find that they perform better, especially in the cold. They tend to be much snappier. And honestly, when you're firing it, like with all my pistols, I'd much prefer to have that snappy, fast shooting than having a ka-chunk sound, if you know what I mean. So most of these days, everyone's going to like fancy high cappers and stuff, or AAPO1s. I picked up the AAPO1 and called it high capper, but there you have it. Hope you like the video. Again, you guys know that I tend to just put stuff and put it on the bench and talk about it while it's here. I don't keep anything in the back end, or I very rarely do. So USP 9 and of course the HK45. Let me know in the comments which one you prefer. Which one would you pick? Is it the short, compact snappiness of the USP 9, or is it the more tactical, bigger framed, more comfortable, more ergonomic, ambidextrous, but not as fast firing HK45? You have to let me know. So thanks as always for tuning in. Hope you like the pistols. More to come, including a very strange pistol which I bought recently. But if you like the video, hit that like button. It helps a long way. Hit the subscribe button. Join the Jaeger Precision community. You can also go one step further and join the Discord and join the Jaeger Precision Discord community. Comment down below which one's your favourite. Let me know which pistols you guys are running at the moment, or what pistol I should probably pick up next. But as always, from myself, Bench, and Box, we'll be seeing you in the next one.